Hey everyone and welcome to my March book haul. Again, it's quite a big one, so no surprise there. What can I say? I love buying books and I love reading, and again, I'm like really excited about all of them. There have also been some amazing new releases that I just had to get. So basically, let's just start with this video and then I'm going to show you all the books that I bought in the last month. I'm going to start off with something that had been on my wishlist for quite some time, and this month I finally bought it, and that is the box set of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan. If you don't know this series, it's about a young boy named Percy Jackson who discovers that the Greek gods are real and that in fact his own father is a god and that makes him a half-blood. And then this entire series is about his adventures and like all the other half-bloods and all these ancient monsters who like try to kill him. And the series consists of 5 books, namely The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and finally The Last Olympian. So this is of course a very popular series that I have been wanting to read for quite some time now. The only experience I had with this like world before I bought this box set is that I have seen the movies, and I know the movies are like the worst adaptations of a book ever. But I will say though, if you're not invested in this world, and if you don't know anything about the books, then I think the movies can be quite enjoyable. Please don't hate me. But I actually already read the first book and now I can see that like the movie is very different and like barely an adaptation at all. But so far I really enjoyed the first book. Like my expectations weren't really high. It's just that I want a fun, enjoyable series, and I just love the concept of Greek mythology in a modern world, and like the book does it in such a clever way. I love Greek mythology very much. I had Latin and Greek at high school and like I know Greek myths quite well. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to enjoy this series and it's going to be fun. And I'm also very excited for the Heroes of Olympus series because I am quite sure I'm going to buy that one very soon as well. I've heard a lot of people say that they actually like the Heroes of Olympus series better than the Percy Jackson series. So basically I'm just like really excited to delve into a new fictional world. And yeah, I still have a lot of Rick Riordan books to catch up on, but for now I'm very happy with my Percy Jackson box. Also in the box set is like this artwork, and those are all the 5 covers, and as you can see they all like go over in each other into like one big picture. So that's a really fun detail as well. And then the next book that I have to show you was the book that was in the Fairy Loot February box, and that is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. So this is a Fairy Loot exclusive edition, and what makes it exclusive is that it's a hardback of the UK cover, because you can only buy those in paperback. I will say though that I actually prefer the US cover a little bit better, but this one is still gorgeous. And also it's a signed edition, so that's also really cool. This book is about a girl named Alice, and her grandmother is the author of like these like weird fairy tales. And then her grandmother dies, and then her mother gets kidnapped, and Alice has to go to the mysterious Hazelwood to find her mother. I'm actually currently listening to the audiobook of this, and so far I'm enjoying it, but I'm not like loving it. But yeah, you will probably hear more of my opinion on this book in my March wrap up. I do think this is a very cool edition. Then also at the beginning of March I went for a day to Amsterdam with my sister. We went shopping, but of course I had to go to Waterstones Amsterdam. I love Waterstones Amsterdam. I'm so grateful that we have a Waterstones in the Netherlands, that we have like this big English bookstore in the Netherlands. And it's a shame that it's like an hour and a half away from me, otherwise I would go there all the time. But anyway, I was there this month and I bought 2 books, and I actually already showed you those books in my 24-hour readathon vlog, but I'm going to show them to you again. The first book that I got there is the Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. This book is about a young boy who has lost his mother, and then he finds this weird book and he sort of like get transported into those stories. I don't know much about it. For me this was really a bookstore buy. Like it wasn't on my wish list or anything, but I saw it, and first of all I thought the cover looked gorgeous, and second of all I thought the story sounded very interesting. It's also an illustrated edition, and like I'm such a sucker for illustrated editions. Like I love those sort of books. So there are like pictures throughout the book, so that's a really fun detail. It just sounds like a very beautiful and a very original story. And yeah, I cannot wait to read it and see what I think of it. And then the other book that I got at Waterstones, I've already talked about in a couple of TBR videos, but that is Sight by Neil Shusterman, or Skite, I don't know, everyone pronounces it differently, but I'm just going to go with Sight. And like I said before in those videos, this book was like suddenly all over BookTube. Like all of a sudden I see it everywhere and everyone is reading it. And this is a sort of dystopian book about a world where there's no longer disease, there's no longer death. And because of that there are sites. And sites are basically people who kill other people to make sure that the population doesn't grow too large. And I believe this book follows two people who want to be sites. Well, to me that sounds like really interesting and like such an amazing story. I've been hearing nothing but good reviews about it. Everyone is raving about it and it's supposed to be really, really good. So when I saw it in the bookstore, I just had to take it with me. I'm so excited to read this. I think I'm probably going to do like a sort of personal readathon during Easter. Because of course with Easter you have an extra long weekend. And I think I'm just going to take a break then and read all the books that are very high on my TBR. And I think that's when I'm going to read this one, because I want this book to have my full attention and like I'm so sure I'm going to love it. So yeah, I'm very happy that I got it, and if I love it I will probably get the second book in this series very, very soon. Next I got a very, very exciting new March release, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Again, a book that has been everywhere over BookTube and like everyone is raving about it. This is a West African fantasy book. I believe it's about this fantasy land where once was magic, but now there's like this evil king and there's no longer magic. But then there's this girl named Zili who has a chance to bring magic back, and there's also like an evil crown prince and there's a race against the clock, I believe. It just sounds very, very exciting and very intriguing. At first this book wasn't really on my radar somehow, but then I heard Hannah from A Clockwork Reader raving about it. She said on Twitter that it has a lot of like Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes. And that is one of my all-time favorite series. Like I love that TV show so, so much. So I'm all here for a book that like has those same vibes. So yeah, I am beyond excited to read it, and this is actually going to be my next read once I finish my current book. Also, it's like a nice floppy paperback and I love that so much. Yeah, I'm going to read this very, very soon, so I probably talk about it in my March reading wrap up. The next book I have is The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. This book came out earlier this year and it's about 4 siblings who find out the date of their deaths, and then it's about them growing up and dealing with that and like knowing such a thing. That just sounds like such an interesting story to me, and I always love ideas like that. Like what would you do if you knew the date of your death? Like how would you react? How would you live your life? I'm really curious to see how this book is going to deal with that and how much in depth we're going to think about that sort of concept. But anyway, this book, like again, I'm very excited for it, and like I really hope this story is going to be what I hope it to be. But I guess I just have to read it to find out, and yeah, it just sounds like something I will love very much. Then I have another beautiful, beautiful book, and that is The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. I mean, just look at this, look at it. You can't really see it right now, but the foiling is holographic. So if there's direct sunlight on it, you can see all the different colors, and it's the prettiest thing ever. Also, the naked cover is gorgeous. It has like these stars and the moon on it, and it's just so, so pretty. But yeah, about the book. Again, this is a book that came out early this year, and I believe it's about 3 witches who were executed many, many years ago, but now every year they come back and they inhabit the bodies of 3 young girls. So it's very much a witch story, and it just sounds very spooky and exciting to me. I actually think this would be quite a good Halloween book. I don't really know why it came out in like February, so maybe I will save it for like next Halloween to read during a spooky time. And in the meanwhile, this book can look pretty on my shelves because it's so, so gorgeous. I love it so much. Beautiful book covers really are my weakness. And then the next book that I bought this month is the first book in the series, and it is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. Again, a book about witches, but like different sorts of witches. I believe the witches in this book all have different sorts of powers and they don't necessarily have to be bad. I bought this because recently the 3rd and final book, I think, in the series came out. So that like drew my attention, and I watched some spoiler-free reviews about the first book. And basically they were all really, really positive, and like then I just have to get it. Again, I've heard saying that this book has some sort of Avatar vibes. And again, I loved it so much and I'm all here for it. Yeah, basically I thought I don't have enough series that I'm reading currently, so I should have another one to start. I mean, it's okay. I do read a lot of series. Again, if I love this first book, I will probably get the next books in the series very soon. And yeah, I'm very happy that I bought this one as well. And then for the last book in this book haul, and that is The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. So about 2 weeks ago, I was very bored and I asked for some book recommendation on Twitter, like random book recommendations, and someone recommended this book to me and I looked into it and I was like completely sold with the premise. So thank you very much for that recommendation. Basically this book is a murder mystery, but it's a murder mystery with a twist. It's about a boy who goes to a party where this girl, Evelyn Hardcastle, will be murdered, but he experiences the evening 7 times, all from different perspectives, from like different partygoers. And that is just again like the coolest thing ever. I love it when books do something original like that, like give a classic premise a cool twist. And again, this book just sounds like something that I'm going to like devour and just enjoy so much. It is quite a big and quite a heavy book. Also inside is like a map, and I think this is the map of the house where the murder takes place. So yeah, basically I'm just in love with the premise of this book, and again I cannot wait to read it. Yeah, and I'm very happy that I got it, and again thank you so much for the recommendation. So yeah, this was it for my March book haul. It was a lot, but it wasn't as crazy as my previous book haul, but let's be honest, that would be hard to top because that was a lot. There are just so many good releases coming out lately and I just want to read them all and buy them all. But this was it now for this video, and if you like this video, please go subscribe or give it a thumbs up because I would really appreciate that. You can also follow me on social media. I will leave all the links down below in the description box. And then hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!